Hello and welcome. Today we're going on a little tour of the 5 biological marvels that literally build your entire reality. I mean, everything from the light hitting your eyes to the air you breathe, these senses are the architects of your whole experience. So let's jump right in.
So, let me ask you, how do you actually experience the world around you? Think about it. The amazing colors of a sunset, the sound of your favorite song, the smell of coffee in the morning. It all comes to you through 5 key channels: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. These aren't just senses, they're your personal windows to the universe. All right, our first stop is sight. We're going to take a look at how these incredibly complex little organs manage to turn simple photons of light into the rich, detailed pictures that make up your visual world.
The easiest way to think about your eye is to picture it as a super advanced biological camera. Its main job is to grab all the light from the world around you, focus it perfectly, and then shoot that raw data over to your brain, which turns it into the seamless movie you see every day.
And what's really amazing is how adaptable your eyes are. You see, just like the aperture on a camera, the colored part of your eye, the iris, is constantly adjusting the size of your pupil. When it's super bright out, the pupil gets tiny to let less light in. And when it's dark, it opens up wide to catch every little bit of light it can. It's all happening automatically all day long to protect your vision.
So how does that all happen? Well, it's a super fast 4-step process. First, light zips through the cornea. Then, the lens focuses all that light onto the retina, which is at the very back of your eye. And finally, the optic nerve acts like a high-speed internet cable, sending the whole message to the brain to be processed. And all of this, it happens in an instant.
Obviously, we need to take care of these amazing biological cameras, and it's actually pretty easy. Simple habits can make a huge difference, like sitting up straight when you read, trying not to read in a moving car to avoid eye strain, and, giving yourself a little space from your TV or computer screen.
Okay, moving on from what we see to what we hear. We're diving into the world of sound. Your ears are these incredible precision instruments that aren't just for hearing, but also for keeping your whole body's sense of balance in check. The ear is just a marvel of engineering, really. It's got 3 distinct sections that all work together. The outer ear is what catches the sound waves, the middle ear cranks up the volume, and the inner ear is where those vibrations finally get turned into signals the brain can understand. So here's the journey a sound takes. The waves travel down your ear canal and bam, they hit the eardrum, making it vibrate. Then those vibrations get passed along by 3 of the absolute tiniest bones in your body to the inner ear. That's where they get converted into electrical signals that nerves fire off to the brain. And your brain goes, "Oh, I know that sound, that's a bird chirping."
And just like with our eyes, taking good care of our ears is so important. It's pretty straightforward. Keep the music at a reasonable volume. Please don't stick sharp things in your ear canal. And just try to keep your ears clean and dry to help prevent any issues.
All right, next on our tour is the sense of smell, which I think is totally underrated. Your nose isn't just for breathing, right? It's a super powerful detection system that helps you identify things and can even warn you about danger, like the smell of smoke. So every time you take a breath, you're inhaling all these microscopic molecules from everything around you. And way up high inside your nose, special nerve cells grab these particles and send what are basically smell messages straight to your brain. It's like a direct hotline from the outside world to your mind.
And this is a perfect example of why that pathway is so important. We've all been there, right? When you have a cold and your nose is all blocked up, those little particles just can't reach the nerve cells. And what happens? Your sense of smell just disappears for a while. And you might even notice that food tastes totally bland.
And speaking of taste, that's a perfect transition to our next sense organ, the tongue. It's not just for talking and eating. It's the key that unlocks this whole universe of flavor. Okay, get this. The average adult tongue is covered with somewhere between 2,000 and 8,000 taste buds. Can you believe that? Each one is a tiny little sensor just waiting to detect the food you eat. That's a ton of sensory power packed into one small spot. So what are all those thousands of taste buds actually doing? Well, they're designed to send signals to your brain that help it identify 4 main tastes: sweet, bitter, sour, and salty. And it's the combination of these, plus your sense of smell, that creates all the complex, delicious flavors we love. Keeping this flavor detector in top shape is actually really simple. Use a tongue cleaner, be careful with food that's super hot or cold so you don't damage your taste buds, and just give your mouth a good rinse after you eat. And finally, we arrive at our largest and maybe most versatile sense organ, the one that literally covers your entire body. Of course, we're talking about the skin, the home of your sense of touch.
Your skin is so much more than just a covering. It's this incredible protective shield for all your internal organs, and it's loaded with millions of nerve endings. These are the sensors that let you feel absolutely everything, from the soft pressure of a hug to the heat from a campfire.
And the skin has some pretty wild properties. Its color comes from a pigment called melanin, and it has this amazing ability to heal and regenerate itself. And here's a fun fact, just to show you how diverse senses can be in nature. Butterflies actually taste with their feet.
So, how do we protect this vital organ? Well, the basics are still the best. Bathe regularly to keep it clean, drink lots of water to keep it hydrated from the inside out, and always, always use sunscreen to protect it from the sun. So when you put it all together, sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, you start to realize that these senses are way more than just biological functions. They are your constant, personal connection to the world and to everything in it. Think about it. Everything you know, everything you feel, everything you experience is filtered through these 5 channels. They don't just perceive your reality, they actively build it, every single moment of every day. So the real question isn't just about biology, it's about your entire world. Knowing how precious these senses are, how are you going to protect them?